It's DTS 139, and it's the best update Destiny's ever had. Age of Triumph is bringing every raid back.
You're listening to Destiny the Show.
What's good, everybody, and welcome to Destiny the Show. I'm so excited. Ditty's excited. You can hear in the background because Age of Triumph, the reveal stream, went down. Now, you may be wondering, why is DTS coming out a day and a half later? Ditty and I both wanted to wait for this stream reveal. We didn't want to have our show go out and this giant update completely just collapse the week, so we waited. If you guys are ever wondering why you don't see it showing up in your iTunes feed, just check out our Twitter at Destiny the Show. We always update you guys and leave those kind of announcements stickied up at the top. Ditty, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? How excited are you?
Yes. Perfect stream today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am so excited for the next couple weeks. And then, of course, March 28th, we get refreshed raids.
Yes. Age of Triumph. Now, we don't have any time to waste with pleasantry, dude. Let's get right into the news. So if you have been living under a rock and have no idea, Age of Triumph is the final live event coming to Destiny. And Ditty, it's bringing with it not one raid, not two raids, not three raids, but all of the raids with new awesomeness. And they're all going to be current light level. They're all going to be 390, dude. It's insane.
So there's not a new light level increase. It's going to be 400, still the cap. These raids are going to be at 390, available weekly. And
which raids might those be?
Oh my God. Do you remember something called, I think it was it Safe of Glass? Vault of Glass, I think. Crota's End, King's Fall, and Wrath of the Machine coming forward. Wrath of the Machine, yes, it is the most current raid. They're actually bringing some new loot tables
a new challenge mode, dude.
And new challenge
to
modes as well.
Yeah, 4 new challenge modes in total. I am so excited. All of this is happening March 28th, but let's go through the entire reveal stream, outlining bit by bit. It's not just about the raids. There's new weekly activities to do. There's new gear to be earned, and the biggest record book that Destiny has ever added. This whole event is about celebrating everything you as a Guardian have done. It is a giant celebration of you, the Guardian. And boy, this is the best stream I think they've ever done. We'll talk about that after we get through the news. Ryan Paradis and Joe Blackburn were on the couch with Deej. Let's talk about this record book, Ditty. You're going to have a new record book, the biggest one that's ever been produced, and we're going to go through each of the pages. However, as you progress through the record book, you unlock rewards, primarily emblems, rank 1 through 7. Now, rank 1 through 6, each of those is an emblem that you can get. Some pages, let's say I complete the I totally misspelled that. I think it's the commemoration page. I don't know why that was really hard for me to say. Let's say you complete that particular page of the book, you get an emblem for it. Now, when you reach rank 7, something even more special happens.
In real life item.
Yes.
In real life loot, and it's a t-shirt. Again, very similar to the other Moments of Triumph t-shirt that they had the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Year 2. You actually get a physical t-shirt, if you get the 100% completion for the record book. That is fantastic. You get your gamer tag or PlayStation ID on your shirt as well.
Doesn't have to be 100%. This is something that they really outlined here, and I love. It's brilliant. There is no 100% award for this record book. You don't actually have to complete every single note in the book to get rank 7 because this book has activities from Trials of Osiris to raids to strikes to story mode, and they don't want to force a player to have to go do PvP if they're not a PvP player. Now, you'll granted probably need to get a lot of the nodes in the book to reach rank 7 for that, but let's go through. The commemoration page is a page that really highlights year 1 Guardians. There's a note in there if you're one of those week 1 players. It's going to have that data tracked, and you're going to be able to fill out that note. It's going to have year 1 activity things that are celebrated in there, right? There's a page about the story, too, and that's about, what do you think? Did he completing all of the story missions or completing, let's say, House of Wolves campaign, Rise of Iron campaign?
Yeah, each node will probably be a different campaign, like story mode, expansion story at least, but the page is actually going to be the whole story. And the purpose of the pages are for you to express yourself as what kind of Destiny player are you? Are you a Crucible player? You're going to get a Crucible reward or emblem for that. You're a story mode player? Are you a strike player? Are you a raider? You're going to get emblems for each one of these pages, in addition to the rank 1 through 6 emblems as well.
That's exactly it. And let's say I'm a Warlock main, Ditty. There's going to be activities and things that I get to complete, ability milestones. I think one of them was like 500 ability kills. And they're going to have that for every class. So you can do the Hunter page. You can fill out all 3 if you're a really big fan of all 3 of your different types of characters. Note, outside of the actual class pages like the Warlock, Hunter, and Titan, it's an account-wide record book. So don't worry about having to complete this thing differently on each of your different classes. It's account-wide. Now, Ditty, the raids page. Knowing you as the raider, how excited are you for this? Because some of these are really hard. Complete every or get every challenge mode emblem in the game is one of the nodes they showed off. That's going to be hard.
Yeah, that is going to be hard because we have Vault of Glass challenge modes in like getting into the game finally. We have Crota's End challenge modes as well. So these are brand new challenge modes that we've never done before. So that's going to be fun finding those out. And it's probably, they say the Atheon challenge is apparently the hardest challenge mode they've ever introduced into Destiny.
That's right.
So that's going to be awesome to find out what that is. And just doing all of those challenge modes is, oh man, that's a lot of content actually, just in and of itself. It's like, wow, I have to do all this.
Later we're going to talk about the featured raid of the week, which, by the way, this event is literally the exact thing you and I have talked about for a year and a half as being our dream Destiny event, and everything came true. I am so excited. I really expected them not to do anything except VOG. But, oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, they did say they're not raising the light level. Now, there's a real reason for this, okay? The core pillar of this event is to celebrate what you have done and acknowledge your accomplishments and help you feel powerful. So yes, you're going to experience the light level raised raids that have a little bit of polish and a little bit of remixing to them. Not a whole lot. They remained pretty much the same. You're not going to see Taken VOG or Siva VOG. No, it is still Vault of Glass. You've got level 42 enemies in there. It's going to be difficult, but they want you to feel powerful. They don't want to have to push another arbitrary progression bar out there for you to chase again. This is to celebrate you, the Guardian. So if you're light level 400, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, they said this is basically your victory lap for Destiny 1. They don't want something that's a really steep grind. They want something that everybody can enjoy and everybody can take part of.
They did mention off the cuff that Prison of Elders got an update, but they didn't give any details. So we'll see. I'm glad that this is an all-encompassing kind of update. The collections page, Ditty. Talk about this one.
The collections page. So there's a kiosk for pretty much everything in the tower now. Shaders, ships, sparrows, that kind of thing. For those collectors who want to get every single unique piece of item in the game, there's a collector's page for you. So start buying those ships that are on the resets, because there will be like a node for that specific thing. You know, people who just play this game to show off that they have everything in the game. Go ahead and use your collections.
There's a node for every ship. There's a node for every shader. There's a node for every exotic. This is exactly what we've wanted for so long, dude. They're celebrating somebody who is a big collector. The people out there who have gone for every exotic, the Touch of Malice, the Outbreak Prime, they've finished off their collection. You're going to be celebrated in this event. I love it. The Wanderer page, the Explorers of Destiny. This is for people who've gotten like all of the dead ghosts or all the dormant Siva clusters. And then, of course, the Trials page at the end. And what I was very encouraged to hear, Ditty, is that one of the nodes is to complete a flawless passage. However, if you've ever lighthoused in your entire Destiny career, you can fill this node out. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's a good point to mention because a couple of these nodes are retroactive, meaning if you've done it in the past, the node will already be filled in on your record book. So day one, Age of Triumphs, your record book could be 10% done already. Like if you're a day one Guardian, like we said earlier, for those really early Guardians who started at the launch of Destiny, you're going to have to be able to fill in that node. You're going to have some progress towards certain nodes as well. This one specifically is going to be filled in. It's retroactive. It's totally done. Complete a flawless trials passage. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so when you look at the book, again, you don't have to 100% the book to get all of the rewards. And that's brilliant because they don't want to force the diehard PvP player into PvE or vice versa. Like somebody who loves these raids but really wants that t-shirt, he doesn't really want to spend his weeks going through Trials of Osiris. That isn't what he enjoys. This record book is a full acknowledgement of you guys play the game how you want to play, and we're going to celebrate your accomplishments. Each of the emblems they showed off, by the way, are most of the emblems, because there are some emblems specific to page unlocks. But the emblems for rank 1 through 6 looked so cool, right?
Yeah, they're not just some really gross color that you can't read your gamer tag or PlayStation ID on it. They're actually like, wow, that's something I'd actually want to use all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then rank 7 is obviously the custom t-shirt. It puts your gamer tag on it. You can buy from the Bungie store. And it's very similar to the year 2 Moments of Triumph. So if you haven't completed it, I think it was, $700,077 or something ludicrous.
It was like 8 sevens with 77 cents. And it was ridiculous. And
it was like, totally ridiculous.
Once you completed your Moments of Triumph, it gave you a discount code, discount it to like $20 or whatever it was. It was pretty funny.
Specific to you, the Guardian, which is pretty cool. I know some people are going to jump in here and go, gosh, a merchandise accomplishment. But I know a lot of people who really like their year 2 Moments of Triumph shirt. I didn't buy one, but I don't really care. It's a cool thing, I guess. Ditty, let's talk about the featured raid of the week. This is a new activity in the director. You and I dreamt about this. I never thought it would become reality. It's actually reality. So what happens when you have the featured raid of the week? You select it from the director. It's $3.90 light. Both challenges are active for that raid when it is the featured raid of the week. Okay, so let's say it's Vault of Glass week. Both challenges for Vault of Glass will be active that week. You also have a chance to get the Age of Triumph ornaments when it's featured. That's the only time you can get those Age of Triumph ornaments in the raids, is when it's the featured one. They also showed unknown rewards. There's new raid set gear in each of these, which we'll talk about soon. And the new raid gear has 2 master ornament slots, which is pretty stinking cool. The old Vault of Glass and Crota's End gear is not going to be infusible. Okay, Ditty, what do you think about all of this?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Gives me a reason to do the raids weekly, right? It's back to that year 1 Nightfall ritual. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously these are not going to be match made. We're going to have to bring a fire team to jump in and actually do it. The fact that both challenge modes are active is awesome because, man, do you fail if you don't do the challenge mode? Does it just kick you to orbit or something? I don't know how that's actually going to work, but that is fantastic.
Very, very cool. And also I figured the schedule that they laid out, New Crota's End is the first week, March 28th that week. The following week is Vault of Glass, then King's Fall, and then Wrath of the Machine. And they were very excited to talk about the updated Crota's End. And I think it's smart that they're putting VOG the second week in, because that, I think, builds up more hype and also gives us a chance to do a smaller, quote-unquote, easier raid. I'm actually worried to see what they did with Crota's End, because maybe it's not going to be easier. They know about our cheeses, Ditty. They've had a long time to learn and study how we broke that raid.
Yeah, they did mention that they've adjusted or tweaked a few things in the older raids to kind of bring them up to par with their, not necessarily like the gameplay or the difficulty, but just like the overall feel of the raids. You're going through it. There's kind of like some super buggy things. I didn't mention anything specifically, but of course I'm thinking Crota's End just all over, right? Maybe there's going to be some bug fixes to fix in the raid. And they did mention in the patch notes, like people who read patch notes like us, they're not going to be very detailed about the raids. You might see bug fix for Crota's End, and that's it. And we don't know what they actually fixed because they don't want to spoil anything before we actually figure it out, you know?
Yeah, the only thing they gave away as a hint is that 3 of coins will work on all of the bosses in the raids now, and they moved a switch in Wrath of the Machine. But just because the patch notes look like, wow, that didn't really do much with the raids, like what the heck, they did that on purpose. They want you to rediscover these raids, and they were all about enhancing the good parts of what you remembered about that experience without actually changing it at a core level. So, great example they gave with Vault of Glass. They made the Oracle section a little bit slower. So the Templar time was cut down because nothing felt worse than getting through all of those, wave after wave, and you die on the last one, have to restart and do it again. But they also talked about points where they wanted to preserve it, like, the jump puzzle in Vault of Glass. And we jump down to the ledge and we get messed up by the little, what do they call it, the ledge boss or something?
Yeah.
They opted not to change that. They found that this is a part of VOG, this is a memorable part, and we're going to leave it as it is, even though we know that the original designers of VOG wanted you to spend more time on these jumping blocks than just hopping right down to the ledge,
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. It's so great that they are tweaking things to make them basically relevant, and they're also preserving the nostalgia and the overall mechanics of the raid. I love that.
And when the featured raid is not the raid that you want to play, it's still there. You can still go play it. You just won't have both of the challenge modes active, and you won't have the shot at getting the Age of Triumph ornaments. Now, the new raid gear they're bringing has 2 of those master ornament slots, and they emphasized over and over again how cool these things look. Now, Ditty, in the actual reveal post on Bungie.net, we saw a picture of what looked like a new set of armor, right? What did you make of it? What did you think of it?
It looked awesome, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. That's what I thought. A lot of people initially thought it might have been like a new NPC in the tower. I think it's just new raid gear, and it looks amazing.
It's not just armor, though, that we're looking at, Ditty, and we will touch on the Fatebringer and the Mythoclast at the end of this, okay? I know you're all very excited. Yes, elemental primaries, guys. We'll touch on it in a second. But there's new raid rewards going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, so older raids, they didn't have certain gear sets like a ghost, or some of the newer raids, they don't have sparrows. Those are coming into the Age of Triumph raid revival, I guess you could call it.
Now, what light level is that gear going to drop, Ditty? So if I just beat, say, Atheon, what kind of light level gear can I expect?
400, up to 400, I guess I should say. If you're 390, of course, you might not get that 400 gear, but if you're light level 400, you're going to get that light level 400 gear. Guaranteed.
That is so cool, man. All of the old raid modes are still there. So let's say you want to go back and do normal mode, Crota's End the way it was, it's going to exist there. And you're also going to have the little option to select the Age of Triumph updated version. It is so stinking cool, dude. And they did show off Vault of Glass footage. They were at the earlier part of the raid, and they did note you're not going to see level 42 enemies just walking around Venus ready to mess up some little baby kindergarten, right?
Yeah, so the public spaces in the raid, specifically Vault of Glass, when you first start those initial raising the spire, that's still going to be the same because it's a public space and you don't want that level 3 guardian who bought the game yesterday to be stomped by a level 390 Minotaur or Praetorian. That's not going to happen.
No. I'm so excited about all of this. Now, okay. The return of elemental primaries such as Fatebringer and Vex Mythoclast. That's a thing, but they did not show it off. It has been confirmed, was not shown today. Next week's stream, they're going to go over the new activities in the director because yes, the raids are the centerpiece of this update, but there's more to it. They are changing the way weeklies and probably dailies are going to work, and they're probably adding some new activities in there, especially when they alluded to Prison of Elders. That's going to be discussed next week, and I'm sure the Fatebringer and Mythoclast and the Elemental Primary stuff will be shown in a future stream where they talk about the sandbox balancing. Maybe Josh Hamrick will be around for that one. However, the new activities next week, Ditty, what do you think? I bet there's probably a Prison of Elders thing thrown in with this.
Yeah, from the stream and from a couple screenshots we've seen, it looks like there is a Prison or Challenge of Elders node. We just don't know exactly what that's going to be. I would love to do an updated Skolas. Love to do that. But,
oh my gosh! I didn't even think about that.
I mean, I consider that to be raid level, even though it's not really a raid. I want to see Skolas return to that glory. Arcburn Skolas, I'm going to say it again, hardest activity in Destiny ever.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. Oh man, this already is my dream update. I was so cynical coming into this. I was like, no, they're only going to do Vogue. And then today, mind blown. Now, Vault Space was not touched on, which means, you guys, technically it's not happening. It's not happening. Maybe they're going to show off a raid kiosk or something, another kiosk they can add in a future update. But to everybody who is like kicking their feet in the ground, frustrated, I get it. I know, I want more space too. I'm going to have to start deleting things, especially with the new gear that's coming in this update. But can we just take a step back for a second and say, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is the best live event they've ever done.
Yeah, and they briefly mentioned that the loot tables are being tweaked. They specifically mentioned King's Fall. They looked at the loot table there and they made some adjustments. And then they also mentioned, just as a blanket statement, it's going to be a little bit more generous this time around. So maybe this time around I can finally get my Praetorian foil from Vault of Glass. And I know that we have a fellow Pineapple Boy who mistakenly or on purpose dismantled his Fatebringer in year 1. He might have a chance to get that back. So good luck to you guys.
I know who you're talking about.
Vault Space, obviously it's still an issue, but I think at this point, if you're still holding on to your original Vault of Glass gear, I would go ahead and maybe dismantle it and make space for the new ones.
No. We get rid of other gear. We keep our Vogue sets, Ditty.
Can we start a rumor that Vex Mythoclast is not a really cool gun, so you should just dismantle it as soon as you get it? Would that work?
Oh my God, nobody cares.
I'm finally might get a Necrochasm. I'm excited. Oh, yes.
A year 3 Necrochasm, Ditty, with elemental damage. So I want to do a quick shout out here. Ryan Paradis and Joe Blackburn did an incredible job on the couch.
Fantastic.
This is the best live stream they've ever done, in my opinion. It was organized. It was quick. They came jam-packed with info. And both of the guys on the couch were answering the questions that the community had without them even asking. They were aware of so many of the concerns and then justified why they did what they did. Okay, no light level raise, Ditty. At first, we're like, bummer. But then you hear their explanation and you go, that makes a lot of sense. I kind of do want to feel powerful, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a celebration of Destiny 1. This is a big, big last live event. And, they did give a real cool piece of insight, too, about Vault of Glass, right? He just said that the only people who know how many chests are in Vault of Glass is, like, Luke Smith and Matt, right? Those are the only 2 people who ever have, like, heard the actual true amount, right?
Yeah, because raid refresh, we thought, are we going to get that extra chest in Vault of Glass finally? Well, then he said, yeah, only these 2 people knew. And, like, they would not let anybody else in the raid design team know when or where they were placing those chests. And that kind of insight is awesome. Like, even the guys who built the game don't know these answers. And that is, that is so great. That's a brilliant idea.
It's like the director commentary, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to know more of those things. I want to hear more about the insights. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Bill Nighy, when he's in, like, the voice acting studio, made the greatest joke about blah, you know, whatever that may be. They did have a new trailer. It was featuring Bill Nighy. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. But the speaker speaking to us, Ditty, his voice is amazing. And did it pull the nostalgia strings for you? Because for me, this has succeeded on every level. I'm so excited to conclude our Destiny 1 adventure with a celebration like this.
Yeah, hearing the speaker speak in that trailer at the very end of the stream, I honestly thought 2 things. One, I was like, yeah, this is the Destiny that I fell in love with, because the speaker was this mystical guy and he's actually talking again. He has new lines. And 2, I honestly thought we might have gotten a Destiny 2 teaser. I was super hopeful.
Yeah,
at the end of that stream, I was like, oh my God, is it going to get better? Well, it was better, but not as good as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, having the speaker, having new lines gives me confidence that that character still matters in Destiny, because he's what kicked off our love of Destiny and entrance into the Destiny world, and he left us with more questions than answers. But those are the kinds of questions we need for Destiny 2 moving forward. And hearing him come back, that's very good.
This is going to be the best year ever for a Destiny fan. If you've ever had that spark of enjoyment or discovery with Destiny, this is going to be the best year. You can feel it. You know it with Destiny 2 around the corner. This is going to be amazing. People didn't know what to expect. The community wasn't really a thing prior to Destiny 1. Yes, you had some podcasts and you had people who got started like us in the alpha and the beta, and you had Guardian Radio way back in the day doing coverage for Destiny. And it bloomed into this giant thing that it is now. And I can't imagine what this year's going to be like, Ditty, because there's going to come that day where at the end of the stream, the Destiny 2 trailer is going to play. I mean, later this year, we're going to be playing Destiny 2. But before we get there, let's air high five over the internet for the updated raids. We're super stoked. We'd love to hear what you guys think about this update. Give us a tweet over at Destiny the Show. Ditty, any final thoughts, and where can people find your content?
Raid refresh. It's happening. I'm going to get my Fatebringer again. It's going to be fantastic. Twitter.com/Destiny the Show. Oh my gosh, you already said that. Twitter.com/Ditty, DTS, DITTY, DTS, and YouTube.com/Wooshness, WOOOSHNESS.
Remember, you guys, you can find all the links from today and more at DestinyTheShow.com. You can follow me on Twitter and YouTube at BBKDRAGOON and join the conversation. Discord.me/DestinyTheShow. If you're looking for a few Guardians to put together for a raid, I'm telling you what, our Discord is about to get way more active in the coming weeks, Ditty. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.